So first of all, congratulations on taking second place at Shine.
I like how you're confused. You're just like, second, I think? Question mark?
Yeah. This is my first fighting game major, especially that, like, you know. But, so your plans were not originally to come to Shine.
Right, so I had a plan to go to Shine, and they gave me like housing and flight and stuff. And then, because like I had to do the thing, if I like 250 views, or sorry, 250 Smash 4 players, I had to eat Mountain Dew and Goldfish cereal, which don't do that. Don't, because I did it. It wasn't good. But, so I did that, which was essentially like a PR stunt for me to get people to go. And it kind of worked a little bit. And then life stuff happened, and I'm like, I don't want to go because I'm sad. And then I was like, let me stop being a baby and just actually go. Because what better way to get your mind off being sad than video games? So. Then I went, and then I did well. Better than I have done in a long time. Yeah. So.
That's good. And then, since we're here in Boston, how do you like the competitive scene here?
It's really, what's the word? Like, I'm not saying like good or bad. It's very loyal. Like, the crowd is so loud. Like, when I had to play XL on Saturday, XL 57 or something like that, it was like any hitting, I was like, oh, I'm like, Jesus, like, come on, guys. Like, it's just funny because I'm normally, like, I'm used to being a crowd favorite, and then to have just like roars for the other person, I'm just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I? I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it's just like surprising kind of thing. And so they have one really good player, which is Mars, which is like top 15 in the world. And they have Pugwest and Craftus, which are like probably the lower end of top 50. So, you know, they're going to have to bring some people up in order to contend with the better regions like Florida, SoCal, NorCal, New York, New Jersey, things like that. But they're pretty solid.
And how do you like Boston?
I love it. I haven't been here since 7th grade. And you walk outside and it's August like 20-something and it's not hot. And I'm from Miami. So you walk outside in November and you're like, man, it's like 85 degrees. This sucks. But so suddenly it's like, oh, it's like in the 70s at 2 p.m. It is great. And we're like right next to the pier. Like this venue location is like perfect. I'm happy.
So do you think Shine is a well-run tournament, like in terms of the venue, in terms of the tournament organization?
One of the best tournaments I've ever been to, for sure. Lots of setups, especially for the amount of people Smash 4 had. Like it was like way more than they needed to. There were warm-up stations back here for the top players. There's all the spacing of all the events was super nice. I mean, after most of the people got filtered off in pools, there was just like 40 friendly setups. Go. And Melee was run pretty well as well. I mean, I didn't enter Melee, but similar things happened. And there was headsets for like the stage, and there's just pretty much everything you would ever need at a tournament. And then there's like food in here, so it's not like you have to go for it. It wasn't like ridiculously expensive like all the other convention centers.
Do you think all that helped to your performance? Or maybe?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. And then in Grand Finals, you're up against Zero.
Yes.
How do you think you did? Because he's a worthy opponent.
Yeah, I mean, set 1 in Winners Finals was super good. I should have won game 2, and I messed up, and then he brought it back. But either way, like Zero's an amazing player, and he's been grinding really hard because he's fallen off from best player in the world, like definitive best player in the world. So now he's like super try hard, and it shows. Like he did really, really well, but he didn't because there's like a weird point for him that like you can overwork yourself. Or you can you can put too much pressure on yourself and then you start playing worse because you start losing and you're like, I'm so scared, I'm gonna lose, this sucks, as opposed to just like, I got this, I'm gonna win, don't worry about it. So I feel like today he played more like the I got this, don't worry about it, because even when I had leads, he wasn't like frantic to get them back, which was something that he has been recently, which I was trying to prey on and it just didn't happen. So, but I mean, he played really well. I played really well too. Like this is the best I've played in months. Because for a while I lived in South Carolina to finish out college. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to live out my lease, whatever. And now I'm back in Miami, and I've been there for like a week and a half. And in that week and a half, I've played like 35 hours or 40 hours with like good players. And I haven't had that access for an entire year. So now it's like, I'm coming back. We got this. Let's go.
Yeah. Does that feel good to have that network again?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I see them all the time at majors because there are majors like every 2 weeks for some reason. But it's nice to have it back, and it's nice to be able to train and test stuff and like have people there, so I don't have to have a gamepad in my lap and mess with it just to get like anything done. So it's nice because I'm not gonna have like my non-Smash friends be like, hey, can you like hold the control? Like I'm not gonna be Mewtwo King, where it's like, can you do this thing 30 million times before I get it right? It's like, no, I won't do that to you. Let's just like go hang out, like whatever.
So in your match with Zero, you played Pikachu. Yes. Obviously, that's your main.
That was a good time.
Thanks. how do you feel like the matchup went? And it's an unconventional choice, so what do you think of the character?
I think the character's really good. I have very brash, bold opinions of the character. People don't agree with them, but I don't care. So I think the character's like easily top 5, top 7 in the game. It's just like, there's so little representation of the character because he's weird. He's really weird and awkward to play. So it's not like you play Mario and you go, okay, I kind of get what this character does, like immediately. And then Cloud, you're like, okay, I get what they do immediately. Pika, it's like, what do I do? And so, I've been playing the character since Brawl, like super well. And so that kind of transferred into Smash 4. So I've had a head start compared to everyone else. And so a lot of people don't pick up Pikachu because it's awkward. Why would you pick up Pikachu when you could pick up Cloud or Mario or things like that? And so people don't do it. But they should. I think the character's really good. And, I think the matchup with Diddy Kong in particular is in Pikachu's favor. It's fairly simple to edgeguard, although Zero was getting around my edgeguards like incredibly well. But, sometimes it's like, oh, well, how many times are you going to guess right? Or I'm going to guess wrong, whatever. So at some point it's just like, oh, 30. And that can happen. And then on stage it's almost like it's slightly in Diddy's favor, just kind of like in neutral. But my punishes are really good and my stage control is really good. And I can kind of make him not kill me if I play patient enough. Because if you're at the edge against Diddy Kong and he down tilts you, it's like, oh, what do you get if you DI down on the way? He gets nothing. So it's really nice. And so I can always kind of get the momentum back, which is cool.
So since you did so well at Shine, where do you think it's going to take you in the future? Do you see yourself winning more majors or anything like that?
More majors? I haven't won one. You're fine. But I'm just going to keep going to tournaments because I was going to do that anyway. Yeah. And I'm just happy I'm just going to start rising back through the ranks. Because again, recently my results have been 33rd and 25th and 17th. And I used to be 8th, 9th, all the time kind of person. And now it's been a little lower. And now hopefully it starts rising up again. And I'm playing really well, so I'm pretty happy about that. And if I play this well, I can't imagine myself not getting top 8.
Are there keys to being consistent in tournaments?
Ask Zero. Practice, matchup knowledge is super important. Patience and not getting flustered, because the way Smash 4 is there's a lot of oh, that happened, that was dumb. But so you can't let anything affect you in a way, you have to remember it, but you can't be oh, that's so stupid, because if you think something's stupid in game, you're gonna get mad. And if you get mad, typically you don't play well. So you have to have really good control of your emotions, which is one of the hardest things to do, because as you get farther and farther along in bracket, you put more pressure on yourself. You're I'm so close, I can get there. And then if you put too much pressure on yourself, then you just collapse. And so that's a thing, and it's hard to deal with. And hopefully, thankfully, I'm doing it pretty well. Even when I lose, I always have a smile on my face. You might have noticed when I'm losing to Zero, I'm just ah. But, so I'm pretty good at that, generally. But a lot of people aren't. I see people complain on Twitter, oh, this character's dumb, this character's stupid, why do they have this? And I'm because it's part of the game, and shut up and deal with it. Or stop playing the game. Or pick up the character and play them, and you abuse the stupid thing. Just stop. So, emotions are hard.
And do you feel like you'd see yourself coming to more majors in this area in the future?
Hell yeah, I would totally go to Shine too.
Okay.
100%. Every tournament I do a YouTube video. I'm just this is how the tournament went, and this one is just gonna be woo, cause I'm a really big SmashCon fanboy, Super SmashCon. Yeah. So that tournament to me was the best ever, and this is a close second. Okay. Especially in the recent time. So.
All right. So thank you. This will be on our YouTube channel, the Lifecast. And it will also be everywhere on our website, Twitter.
Follow me on Twitter at PG_ESAM.
Do that.
And then subscribe to my YouTube channel since it's going to be on YouTube, youtube.com/I'mESAM.
And yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Thank you.